Okay, so I tried to do some unintended or unintentional free time, and of course, the first thing that I basically wanted to do is just doing a live stream because it's just the simplest thing that I basically can do, even though, yeah, creating some sort of Animoji gaming or e-commerce house is also pretty simple. So, just using a different kind of tools because yeah, for live stream I obviously need to use OBS Studio rather than Zoom, because in order to live stream I think it's need to use the paid subscription, which is pretty expensive for me, who basically didn't get any kind of expectation or advantage or even income or profit from the content that I try to make yet. So yeah, hopefully in the future I can basically use another tools, because yeah, obviously OBS is already the best tools for any kind of live stream, even for professional who already got a lot of money, since yeah, OBS Studio is basically an open source software, and yeah, it's basically has a lot of features if you try to install some add-ons, even though I'm not sure about the green screen features in the OBS. It seems to be not as good as when I try to use it every time when I try to edit a video on iMovie. So I just don't get it why the black background or even the white background is just not supported to be considered as a green screen, just like many times that I basically already mentioned in the previous live stream. So yeah, speaking of open source software, sometimes not many people obviously like to share their source code, because at some point not everything's gonna be better when the source code was actually open source or shared to the public, because yeah, obviously it will be pretty easy to notice about the vulnerabilities and also the securities perhaps, or the main features of the application perhaps, I'm not sure, especially when people want to copy and create other things, unless it was really complex. That's basically, I don't know, maybe just like Ubuntu operating system perhaps, or any kind of Linux operating system, that most likely it was actually open source, but it's still technically safe as well, because yeah, the best people can basically contribute in order to make it better perhaps, I'm not sure. So yeah, so what kind of things that I basically wanted to do or wanted to talk about, because yeah, this is actually unintentional live stream, unintentional free time or unintended free time, so it's not gonna be that long. And yesterday I basically only able to do some live stream and also some short recording of the good behavior that was separated into two, because even though the free time is actually have more than once yesterday, but yeah, it turns out the second free times is not as long as I used that I expected. So that's the reason why today I got another free times that basically exchange with the yesterday free times. So yeah, basically I don't know. I just need to think about first, and yeah, to be honest, think about the random things is still basically hard, especially when I was need to think about what is the English word for that, because yeah, I'm not obviously not a native speaker, so yeah, that's the reason why. And yeah, because maybe yesterday meeting is also not as fast as it used to be, so that's the reason why I cannot create more personal productivities, such as karaoke, that I've been not doing it for a while, even though I'm not sure kind of songs that I basically wanted to sing, but there's obviously still so many songs that I basically wanted to sing again because yeah, I think I don't know, maybe singing is basically a little bit make people addicted, even though at some point when I try to hear my own voice, it's basically not as good as when I try to hear the original song, obviously. So I'm not sure whether I can be a singer or not. So that's the reason why I'm still not trying to focus on that. So yeah, basically, I don't know. So I've been trying to do some live stream again about the gaming, but it's basically pretty much just a game, pure gaming footage without any commentary as usual, going into directly into my Twitch account. And basically I was actually trying to test it again, even though I basically already able to do it previously, but since the Dream Gadget is temporary use for streaming into the YouTube. So basically, when I wanted to try to stream back into the Twitch, I basically tried to install the another apps that basically dedicated to stream into the Twitch. But it turns out the Twitch Studio that I used to download also quite a while ago, which is pretty bad when, especially when my internet connection is not that fast like right now. It's just so bad, but for some reason when I tried to test it yesterday, it's still basically very bad. It's just far from what the quality that can be get from the OBS studio. So that's the reason why I decided to move back into the OBS studio, and I just don't get it that my internet connection is still not considered enough by the Twitch studio as well. So that's the reason why. And yeah, so I decided to come back into Twitch, but still saving the stream key for the YouTube just in case when I don't know. Basically, I can actually copy it again directly from when I try to create the broadcast, because every time that I basically need to live stream into the YouTube from the Dream Gadget is basically need to create the live stream or create the broadcast first, because yeah, it was using a stream key rather than connecting directly into the account, just like what OBS was recommended. So yeah, what else? I don't know. Everything seems to be pretty much the same. So even though I've basically wanted to change my behavior or habit to wake up pretty early in the morning, and try to sleep it again, obviously just to do some sort of good behavior first. And yeah, it turns out it's not that easy to sleep again. So I just don't know, maybe just like when I try to sleep a little bit early in the night, it's just so hard because yeah, it's just for some reason I can I'm not really easy to go to sleep, even when I basically didn't have any kind of nightmare after watching on horror movies. So right now I don't really think about that, unless when I try to watch horror movies again, probably I will get a little bit nightmare before going to sleep. So yeah, it's still basically pretty hard for me to sleep, to fall asleep. So yeah, but hopefully I can basically change my habit, especially next week, that I basically must change my habit in order to do another things that basically need to wake up pretty early in the morning. So yeah, even though basically thankfully I'm still basically working from home, so I'm still pretty much have a lot of rest time during in the work time or work time, because yeah, everything was basically pretty much flexible, and hopefully I can basically keep doing this. So, but yeah, this is actually the things that basically prevent me from moving on into another companies, because yeah, I'm just afraid I cannot do this thing anymore. So yeah, but besides, there's still some uncertainty about the what happens basically in the tech world. Maybe because there is a rise of artificial intelligence, or it's basically just overpaid of tech salaries. I'm not sure, but yeah, basically it's also makes most people probably not motivated enough to move into another company because they're afraid to get laid off. And yeah, what else? It's already 11 minutes, and I'm not sure whether I can basically create a longer live stream than the previous longest live stream that I tried to make, which is around 25 minutes, I guess. So it's still less than half of those live stream, but yeah, it's basically pretty unnecessary, because yeah, I basically takes too much time to think about what I basically wanted to say. So maybe this one is actually a little bit better, not sure. But yeah, basically I just keep, try to be keep grateful about that, even though yeah, sometimes I just don't know what basically I actually really wanted, and I just don't know what the creator or the god wanted to do to me. And yeah, the only things that I basically can do is just pray and hope for the best, that hopefully God can give me a better things. Hopefully that's the things that I always try to say. And yeah, I'm not sure what kind of things. So basically, I've already tried to bought the new games that yesterday I have already tried to complete the download as well, which is I think I already tried to mention previously. So it's around $30 games, the PC games, which is basically seems to be pretty expensive for PC games. But when I try to compare how much money that I actually spent before for the console, such as PlayStation 4 or Nintendo Switch, it is actually considered not that expensive. So that's the reason why I think it's hopefully it's gonna be worthy. And yeah, because yeah, $30 is seems to be a lot of money, but yeah, it's already 50% off than its original price. Consider it was still considered a new game as well. So yeah, but to be honest, I actually don't want to buy the games, digital games, especially that have more than $50, because yeah, it's just don't make any sense to buy some digital things more than those price, even though it's basically only paid once for probably several days of completion. I'm not sure, but yeah, it seems to be not worthy. Maybe because the dollars to Indonesian currency is basically pretty high, so that's the reason why it seems to be pretty expensive, especially to me that didn't have a lot of salary, monthly salary as well. If you try to what kind of things that I basically try to talk previously. Quite forgot because I basically tried to do multitasking while reading some new chats. So that's the reason why it's definitely make me suddenly forgot about what I just said. But yeah, well.